Can hear me just fine. Give me a second. Let's get this thing up and going. And we'll be off and rolling. So impromptu, middle of the day. Let's go ahead and get into it. So what I want to do is I want to show you why I believe a middleman business is one of the best concepts going right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. Again, this is impromptu, so I hope you guys can see and hear me just fine. Hopefully, let's find a marker. I'm always having trouble because I have kids, so don't know which markers work. Don't know which ones do not work. That are all dried out. But we're gonna get into it. So let's do it. I got a little extra time on my hands today, so now that I have it, I'm gonna go over some things with you that could possibly help you. Now, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up if you don't mind. If you like the content you get on the channel, you're welcome to subscribe. You're welcome to thumbs up. I'm the Middleman CEO Shon-Jhon, and I'm someone who was born into a poor family, lived in poverty my entire life, pretty much, and got married, had kids, decided I didn't want my kids to be poor. I didn't want my kids to live in poverty. I wanted to do something good for them. And I wanted to build something that was sustainable because no job is sustainable. And if I get fired from my job, which I did a lot of times, a job is not something you can pass down to your kids. A credit score is not something you can pass down to your kids. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to build something that can not only build wealth for me and my family, but could be something that the kids could have long after I'm gone. And so one of the things that got me thinking, one of the things that changed my life is learning the Cashflow Quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki. And so if you guys are not familiar with the cash flow quadrant, I'll break it down for you really quickly. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up if you have any questions or comments. You're welcome to drop it and let me know if I see it. I promise I'll get to it. And so, but the cash flow quadrant works this way. There are 4 ways to make money according to Robert Kiyosaki. If you've ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's his book, his work. And so the first would be the E quadrant, which is the employee. So most people, as far as I know, most people are employees, right? And so this has a lot to do with how you make money, how you get taxed, but it is relevant when it comes to you guys today because your job's not going to be there tomorrow. And of course, that's not literal, but for a lot of people it is. And so the number one way that most people make money is by having a job, working as an employee. Nothing wrong with that. The only problem is, what's your other source of income? What's your backup plan for when the day comes that you lose your job? Secondly, small business owners. These are your plumbers, your landscapers, your pool repair, pool cleaning, your maintenance, your AC and heating repair, your movers, your home cleaners, your electricians, your handymans, your painters, your carpet cleaners, your floors, your cabinets, your printing, your tattoo artists. I'm just thinking something off the top of my head. TV mounting, even like Christmas light hangers. I guess that's what it's called, right? Installers. And these are typically small businesses, just 1 or 5, 6 people involved. That's pretty much it. And they're small business or specialists. They do all the work. And then there's big business. When you think of big business, I think of Walmart, AT&T, Amazon's, companies like that, where they have tons and tons of employees who do the work. And then investors, where they don't actually do the work. They put the money into the market or into something, and the goal is to make an ROI, return on investment, as high as possible. But in order to do this, you have to have a lot of money, because people always talk about how easy it is to get into the stock market and make money. Well, you got to have some money. And as far as I know, you have to be able to put about $1,000 per month into the market over the next 20, 30 years. And so that's $12,000 a year. Most people don't have that. So you can take off just a little, you can do a few hundred per month, maybe make some money. I don't know. The market goes up and down, so it varies. I'm not telling you to do any of this. I'm just explaining to you what Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant is. And now that you understand that most people are here, so most people struggle. Why? Because they're employees. So they don't control anything. They're controlled by their jobs, their place of employment. And so if you lose your job, where does your money come from now? Right? So Robert Kiyosaki argues that the worst way you can make money is with a paycheck, by trading your time for money. I agree. I think it's the worst way you can make money. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't use it to make money. I'm just telling you it's probably the worst way you can, because what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. We're going to look at what I believe are the 3 ways that you can make money, right? And I'll tell you why I believe that 2 of these are the absolute worst, right? And so mine's a little different than Robert Kiyosaki. He's got the cash flow quadrant. I've got, I don't know, the middleman triangle, I guess, right? And so we're going to look at jobs, investor, and middleman. And so probably should put the middleman in the middle, huh? I know you guys are thinking, shouldn't that be in the middle? So we're going to look at jobs. First thing we're going to look at is what a job costs you. I always share with people that having a job costs you more than they pay you, right? And so most people will be like, how could that cost me more than they pay me, right? Here's why, or here's how. A job requires something of you. It requires your time, T for time. A job requires your time. And because a job requires your time, right? Because a job requires your time to get money, because in order to get a paycheck, you actually have to go to work, right? So you have to sell your what? Your time. So I believe that time is a million times more important than money. Because if I write you a check for X amount, it doesn't matter, whatever amount you can dream up. And then I said, in order for this check to cash or clear, you have to run out of time. You have to expire. You're not going to cash that check. Why? Because life is more valuable. Time is more valuable than money. We don't often think of it that way, but that's the truth, right? So time's more important than money. And so when you go to work, you actually sell a lot of your time for money. So you actually trade more time. I'm sorry, you pay them more than they pay you. They pay you in dollars. You pay them in time, right? And so your life equals a paycheck. Why do I say your life? Well, what's your day made up of? Time. So your life is made up of days, months, years, right? So you sell time to make money. That's a job, right? So when you stop selling your time, they stop paying you. Let me know if you guys understand what I'm talking about. So if you stop going to work, do the paycheck stops or do they keep coming? They stop, exactly. So when you stop going to work, they stop paying you. Does that make sense? So your life equals a paycheck means that the only way that you know how to make money is to sell more life. That's why it's so painful when you go to the gas stations and it takes $50 to fill up your vehicle and you're making $15 an hour. All of a sudden, that's about 4 hours of your life that you spent, because you're not paying for it with money, you're paying for it with life. So if you're making $10 an hour and it costs you $50, it costs you 5 hours of hard work just to put gas in your car. That's how I used to think. That's probably how some of you think. Like, man, wait a minute. This is 5 hours of my life just to be able to put gas in my truck, right? So I believe the hardest way to make money, the number one hardest way to make money is with the job. And that's not even including that you don't control the jobs. You don't control your schedule. You don't control how much they pay you. You don't control any of it. There's no control. 0% control. If they don't need you that day, they don't pay you for that day. So I don't like the idea of having zero control, but for most people, This is what you've been trained and programmed and conditioned to do. And that's not even the bad part. The bad part is you bought in. You believe it to be your only sure way of making money. But let me ask you, do you still feel with the advent of AI that your job is safe and secure? Do you still feel like a year from now you're still going to have that paycheck from that particular company? Be honest, be real. Do you still feel like it's a safe bet? Right? Next way, investment. I feel like an investment is the number 2 hardest way to make money. Not that it can't be done, but the problem is you need money. So time equals money on a job. Money equals time and investment. The problem is it's going to cost you a lot of time. See? There's that thing again, time. I keep telling you, life is made up of time. If you sell it or you have to have a lot of it, that's a hard way to make a living. Because they always tell you, nobody tells you that you're going to get into the stock market and make money right away. They always tell you invest and sit, invest and wait, right? They always tell you it takes what? Time. And it does take time. Warren Buffett is a billionaire. Okay, I got it. How long has Warren Buffett been in the market? A million years, right? And so if you're 35, 40 or older, sure, you can make money from the market, but do you really want to let your money go into a market for 40 years and just wait? I don't. Reason I don't is because I don't know how long I got here. So I don't want to tie my money up in a 401k. That's how a lot of you get trapped anyway. You put your money into a 401k, hey, leave it alone for 30 years. Okay, you're telling me to put my money into a 401k and leave it alone for 30 years, but you don't leave it alone for 30 years? You make money off my money, but if I go to get my money, I get punished again? Just stupid, makes no sense. Do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I think, right? So now I need compound. Compound just means time. Compound interest, I know. 8th wonder of the world, I got you. How much time is it going to cost me to compound? Well, the average is 20 years. All right. So if I'm 30, I got to wait 20 years to enjoy life. I got to wait 20 years. And don't get me wrong, it's better than nothing, because that's what people are going to come back and say. They're going to say, Sean, I'd rather have something in 20 years than have nothing. I got you. I'm not against investing. I'm not telling you to not do it. I'm just telling you, I want to have some fun now. I want to live my life now. I want to make some money now. I want to get paid now. I want to buy the nice house now, the nice car now. I want to do some things now while I can still enjoy them. Okay, I invest and then I come back in 40 years and I'm 70. But you're a millionaire at 70. Cute. Okay, gotcha. I appreciate it. What can I do now? What can I do? I'm 70, I'm 75, I'm 80. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? How many 75, 80-year-olds you see on vacation, hanging out at the mall, at the Six Flags, going to games? Just don't see it. So I would rather enjoy, because I'm thinking about this in my head. I've heard somebody else kind of break it down this way. There's 4 quarters in life. There's hope you guys can see it and this makes sense. There's 25 to 35. Then there's 30. I know it's 36, but I'll just put 35. 35 to 45. Then it's 45 to 55. And then it's 55 to what? 65. And these are the 4 quarters. Somebody broke it down one time. They were like, these are the 4 quarters of life. These are 4 quarters of life. So 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45, 55, 55 to 65. After that, you just kind of get old. Meaning that, hey, after this point, it's going to be harder to do some things, right? I got a mentor now. He's over 65 and he just golf. That's it. He can't run. You know, and there's a lot of things he can't do. But so the goal would be to get rich right here, of course. So you can enjoy, you can drive the nice cars, live in the nice homes, enjoy just a little more while you still have your health. But as you get older into each quarter of life, you're probably not as healthy or as youthful as before, right? Some few are, but for most, it's just not that way. You see athletes all the time. The older they get, they're just not the same. That's just the way it is. We don't control that. And so I would rather enjoy it before I get into the 66 plus. I just rather enjoy life before I get too old. I'm just telling you. If I put money into a market and I come back in 40 years and I'm 66 plus, what am I going to do with the money? I got a house, I got a car, 66 plus. I don't know. I'm not telling you it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I'd rather enjoy life while I can. That's just me. Because people always say, man, get rich quick is a scheme. Well, you better hope that you get rich quickly because you're not going to be alive long enough to get rich slowly. And number two, the real scheme, the real scam is staying poor or staying broke for longer. I'd rather get rich quickly than to stay broke for a long time. That's the real scam. Work 40 years, trust the system, and retire broke. That's a scam, but you guys are so programmed, you don't even see the real scam right in front of you. So when you could put in work, get rich in a year or two, whatever rich is to you. Say you want to make 300 grand a year. In a couple of years, you could build a business that makes 300 grand a year. Okay. I'd rather do that than to work for 20, 30, 40 years, invest in the stock market and hope things work out. By the way, if that market crashes, you get wiped out. So compound just means a bunch of time. That's all it means. Market goes up and down. They tell you to stay in it because it averages out. What if it doesn't average out? I'm just saying. And so that's the worst way to me. The number one worst way is to have a job. Number two, put money into a market because it takes too much time. I believe getting rich, getting wealthy is about time. The faster you do it, the better. The faster you do it, the better. Just telling you how it is. If I make $1 million in the next, let's say I make $250,000 a year for the next 4 years. In 4 years, I made $1 million. I'm a millionaire. Let's say you work 50 and make $50,000 a year over the next, what is that? 20 years? You've made $1 million. Would you rather make $1 million in 4 years or 20? I'm just saying, 4 all day long, twice on Sunday. I'd rather make $1 million in 4 years as opposed to 20 years. Now, we both made $1 million, but how come you don't feel rich? Because it took too long. That's what I just said. Time is everything. It took you too long. If you'd have done it faster, but you called that a scam, a scheme, not realizing this was the backdoor scheme. Stay broke. You know why they tell you it takes time? Don't get rich quickly? Because they want you to put your money into the stock market and leave it there. Because you don't know any better. All right, now let's look at my favorite way to make money. And I think this is going to be the best way to make money going forward because of AI. I always say, don't fear AI, partner with AI. And that's a middleman business. Why do I like a middleman business? OPT, other people's time. Here, it costs me my time. Here, it costs me my time. Here, it costs me other people's time, not my time. So I'm here doing this video with you. At the same time, work is being conducted from my website. So I'll show you really quickly. And I put a video out recently kind of going through one of my middleman businesses and how it works. And by the way, the further you are down this road, the faster you need to be making money. The faster you need to be moving, the faster you need to be bringing in some income. All right. So a middleman business like the one I have, let's use, for instance, my moving middleman business. I call it BAM for short, book and move. All right, just to give you an example. All of this, 40 years investment, day to day, because your paycheck could be here today, gone tomorrow. Tough life. I'd rather have something that makes money for me right now without me being involved. That's just me. Now, you don't have to like this, but I do. I love it. So, and if you would like to make money faster, then you need to think of other ways than these two. I'm not telling you these are bad things. They're not bad things. If you can make money that way, by all means do it. I just don't like what it costs me. It costs me my time. My daughter's having a t-ball game. I can't come. I'm on the schedule. I got to be at work. If I don't go to work, they won't pay me. I don't like that. Hey, I put money into the market, money I could have used for an opportunity, but they told me to put that last $500 into the market and wait 20 years. Got to be kidding me. I need the money now. I can utilize it now. So if we can get, I don't know if this is unbrainwashed, I don't know, whatever the reverse of brainwashed is, and forget these and get into, it doesn't have to be a middleman, but get into thinking about a system that makes money right now. So my middleman business makes money several ways, right? Several ways. Number one, makes money through booking deposits. So if a customer comes to my Book and Move website, they'll pay me a minimum of $150 to book a job. Now it takes them 2 minutes to go through that process or less. And as soon as they click, I get an alert, they've been scheduled. I just made $150. I can show it to you now on my Stripe account, but I don't trust everybody. But I can show the students, right? So booking deposit, that money goes to me, $150 per customer. And I know $150 is not going to make you rich. But what if you had a, not even booking, just a middleman business, right? I'll take the name off because it doesn't matter what the name is or what industry you're in. Doesn't matter. We'll just call this a middleman business model or system. This is just a middleman business model of how middleman business works. So it doesn't matter what industry you choose. It does not matter. It could be cleaning, it could be moving, it could be window tinting, vehicle detail, carpet cleaning, flood restoration. It does not matter. As long as it's a service business, you can middleman. Bounce houses, doesn't matter. Event setup, doesn't matter. So, but in my particular case, they can go to my website, pay me, make $150. Right? Sometimes more, but minimum $150. Right? And so when they go there, the customer's going to pay me $150. I'm paid. Now, all of this is fully automated. It's all auto. You know how you get paid from your job and you don't have to get a check to cash it, it's already in your account? Same thing. It's auto. This whole entire website is automated. You don't talk to me. I don't talk to you. You being the customer. Customers don't talk to me. I don't talk to them. They just go there, get what they need, say, I like it, book it. I get paid through a deposit. All right. When the work gets dispatched to the ISP, Independent Service Pro, guess what they do? They pay me again. ISPs pay me $150 per month. So I'm making money again. I make money through a booking deposit. I make money when the ISPs pay me. Right? So when an ISP pays me, I make $150. So if I get 25 ISPs per city, just say one city, I make $3,750 a month before I even book one job. That's almost $50,000 for the year with no customers. By the way, if you do this right, they'll be lined up to work with you. That's why we limit them. If I book, just say we're slow and I book 2 customers a day. Just 2 customers a day. $300 per day. For the month, $9,000 on slow months. $9,000 on 2 customers a day, very slow, plus the $3,700. I'm a little below it, $250, but roughly $13,000 per month. 13 grand per month, right? I think that's about 156 a year. Now, I've never had a job that paid me 156,000 a year. I think that's right. I've never had a job that paid me 156 a year. Maybe you have, I haven't. So that excited me. Now, keep in mind, that's just one city. There are 3 ways we get paid. There's more, but just keep it simple. I call it the 3-way payday. Number 1, customer deposits when they book. Number 2, ISP, you want the work, you have to pay to see it. And number 3, scale. So if I'm making $12,000 per month in one city, $13,000 roughly, $13K per month in Dallas, what happens when I scale to Atlanta, Houston, Oklahoma City, Austin, Chicago? You're saying, how could you scale your business to all of these areas? Well, remember, I don't do the work. OPT, other people's time. OPS, other people's skills. So I don't leave my office because I don't do any of the work. Well, you booked a moving customer in Chicago. Okay. Well, you have to go move them. No, I don't. You know why? There's plenty of ISPs, movers already in Chicago. All I have to do is connect the ISP to the job and get paid. So I'm going to connect the customer, C, to the ISP at the actual service provider, and then I'm going to get paid. I don't do any of this. So if I'm making 13 grand in one city, if you want to know how to really multiply this and scale this, what if I make 13 in Atlanta, 13 in Houston, 13 in OKC, 13 in Chicago? And I go on and on. I can scale this whole nation because, again, I don't do the work. And it doesn't matter what the industry is. If you decide, hey, what industry do I want to open in? What industry is best in whatever city? You might be in Denver and snow removal might be a really good industry. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to middleman snow removal. There's a lot of snow removal companies out here. They need customers. I'm going to bring in the customers, send the work to them, collect my deposit, connect the customer to them, get paid, repeat the process. All of a sudden, you open 5 more cities and you're at what? Pretty much 70,000 with what you already have. So whatever 13 times 6 is, maybe 78. All of a sudden you're at 78,000, and that's per month. That's how big businesses get to $1 million a year. By the way, $1 million a year is really good. So now you're closing in on $1 million a year because it's about 88,000 a month. Now you're at 78 grand a month, and you just keep scaling. And it doesn't stop there. It gets even better. Now, there's a bonus way. Now, everyone's going to see that your business is booming, and they're going to start contacting you. And they're going to say, hey, your business is on fire. Can I buy in? Yes, kind of like franchising. But you're going to license the business to them. So you might say, and we're in the process of doing that now, by the way. So you might say, look, I'm running my business here in Atlanta. I really don't want, I'm making 10,000 per month easy. I'm hanging out with my family, hanging out with my friends. My bills don't cost a whole lot. I'm good. I don't really want to scale into other cities. I don't want to go through all of that. Fine, right? Here's what you do. You let them buy in. So they'll come to you and say, hey, you don't have to open up here in, let's make something up. You don't have to bring your business out to Orlando. I got a bunch of students in Orlando, by the way. You don't have to bring your business out to Orlando. Don't worry about that. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to open a portion of your business. I want to open your Chick-fil-A in Orlando for you. Right? Oh, really? Yes. Well, how's that going to work? Oh, brilliantly. You want to see? I know I got a lot up here. I didn't plan on going this deep, but I'm just breaking this down for you. So now we're going to license. Now you can see all that. I'll give you a second to screenshot that. Just snap it on your phone so you can see everything that's up on the board. I'll step back. All right, got it? And so I want to show you how licensing works, because now you're going to license this. So let's say you're running the business out of your primary city, is going to be where you started at, is Atlanta. Your business doing 10K a month. You don't really want more than that. You don't want a bunch of money. I do, but you don't have to. You might say, oh, I'm good. My business is doing good. 10K per month. I'm feeling all right. Again, my expenses are low. Got a nice car. Got a nice home. I don't really want to put any more work into growing it. We're good here. By the way, you can drop a question or a comment if you have one. If I see it, I'll get to it. That's a promise. Just let me know. All right. Smash thumbs up if you don't mind. I really appreciate it. It helps me to grow the channel and reach more people. The reason I'm so bullish on this, guys, I got to keep up with the time because my exercise is about to start. So I got a couple more minutes and I got to get off. So if you have a question or comment, now's the time because I'm about to start my workout. You guys thought I was about to say I got to go back to work after lunch. I told you I don't have a job. This is what I do. I can literally stay on here all day, every day, 24/7. Like, what are those guys that do the streaming? Is it Casanat or something like that? Anyway, I can literally do that and talk about Middleman all day long. I've been doing this since 2020. That's all I do. And so if you license the business, right? So let's say you license the business out. So John approaches you. I'll do this really quickly and then I'll get off. And let's say you're already making 10K per month. By the way, again, the system is fully automated. Whatever industry you choose. By the way, if you know someone who has a service business, right now, that's a good place to start because you already have your first ISP. And if you don't have ISPs, don't worry. I can show you one day my Book and Move ISP list here in Dallas is backed up. I want to say just in the last 24 hours, somewhere between 9 and 12 ISPs who want to get on the platform. So again, when, these companies, they need work. If you're and they're spending tons of money on these other platforms and not getting work, they're getting leads that they have to chase and compromise and beg the customer to do business with them. Whereas if they come to a middleman website, the job's already booked. All they have to do is show up and do the work. You don't have to call the customer. You don't have to chase leads. The customer already said yes. Customer's already paid me. Here's the information. All you have to do is show up. Easy peasy. So let's say you are running the business. I don't know, whoever's watching, if you want to drop your name, I can use that. But let's say, by the way, if you're watching and you have an idea of what middleman industry you would get into, I could use it real quick and just give you a real life example of how this works. So if you're watching and you have an idea of what industry you would get into, that's fine. Just let me know. But this is, and I didn't even plan on talking about this, but we're just going to talk about the license part. So if you license this, right? So what does that look like? Well, right? So someone comes in and wants to buy in. You're someone and you're like, hey, look, I really had no plans to scale all over the country. I'm good right here in my city. I'm making 10K plus a month. I'm not doing any of this work. I'm good. I have a good relationship with the customers, good relationship with ISPs. Everything's laid out. I'm fine. And then somebody approaches you and say, wait, you're doing 10K a month? Yeah. Well, do you want to spread your business out? No, I'm not really interested. And then they say, hey, but I would love to open I would love to open your business in Orlando, right? So you're doing well, you're killing it. Can I buy in? Right? Because that's what happens when businesses get popular. Can I buy in? And so John comes and asks you, could he buy into your middleman business? You say, all right, reluctantly, all right, dude, we'll give you a shot. John said, what's it going to cost, right? So the first thing is going to be the license fee, right? So you have your middleman business. This is you, whatever your middleman business is. And now you have a license fee. So John comes in and he says, I want to get involved. And you say, perfect. The license fee just to get in is $5,000. So first thing I need from you, John, I need you to pay me $5,000. That's my license fee. John says, okay, I got $5,000, or I'll swipe a credit card. I'm in. Then John's going to pay you, let's say 15% all deposits. Right? So not only, now John's going to pay you 15% of all deposits. This is why I love the middleman business model, because it keeps getting you paid. And when did you leave the house? You haven't? Oh, you didn't even get out of bed? And all this still works? What about AI? AI is taking a lot of jobs. You're not worried? No. You know why? Because AI can't replace ISPs. They can't replace service jobs. Not yet. So I'm going to partner with AI, let AI help me with all of this. AI is going to help me automate this entire booking process. So I'm not afraid of AI. I'm looking forward to working with AI. And you will too. 15% of all deposits. So let's say they get, on average, each month in Orlando, let's say they get 2 customers a day, which is $300 per day, $9,000 for the month. Let's say that company makes $9,000 for the month. The guy, John, that bought into your business for $5,000, and he pays you 15% of all commissions up front, over the top, meaning not net, but gross. So every time a booking comes in for $150, you make, I want to say $2,250. Could be wrong. But now, every time a booking comes in, you get 15% of that. So if $9,000 comes in, what's 15% of $9,000? So I know 15% of $10,000 is $1,500. So 1,500 minus 150 would be 1,350 maybe. Again, I could be a little off on these numbers. I'm doing this in my head. I wasn't a great math student. But now I think you're at 1,350. So now you make 5,000 plus, so the 5,000 up front, this, the 1,350, we're going to put an R for reoccurring. So not only does John pay you 5,000 to get involved, 5,000 in your pocket day one. Again, what did you do? Nothing, just send over some paperwork. But they see the value in your business. All right. So all of a sudden, by the way, I'm doing this now with Book and Move. Book and Move is going to spread all over the country. Watch. It's in your city. You're going to see Book and Move. You're going to say, he said it. Because I want to build wealth. I ain't going to lie to you. I don't back down. I've been poor. I don't want to be poor. I want to be rich. Nothing wrong with that. So all of a sudden, you got monthly reoccurring, put MR, monthly reoccurring of $1,350 a month on average. So you got 5,000 up front, $1,350 per month reoccurring. And that's not it. there's another monthly recurring, which is your, this is not your licensing fee. I'm sorry. Wait. This is more like the buy-in. So this is we'll call it a licensing fee, but then there's a monthly, right? So there's a monthly licensing fee too. So, and this, by the way, this is everything this is how mine's going to be set up too, except I'm not going to be at 5,000, I'm going to be more, but I'm just keeping it small for an example. Because if your business is making 20,000 a month, then you charge 20,000 to buy in. Whatever your business is making a month, you charge it to buy in. So all of a sudden, by the way, if it's only 5,000 and you sell it to 10 other cities, you made 50 grand right up front. So a monthly licensing fee, you can establish that. Let's just say you keep it small and it's 3,000 per month. So this is a set fee, reoccurring, 3,000 per month. So look, all of a sudden, 5,000 upfront to buy in, 1,350 per month on average, and then 3,000 per month. So now I have 4,350 per month just from that city. So if I do 10 cities like this within a year or two, I'm at 43,000 per month. And that's just for licensing off the company. I still own the company. I still own the brand. But that's what Chick-fil-A does. That's what McDonald's does. That's what all these franchises do. That's what Disney does. They just license their product off. They still own it, still control it. They still have to play by the rules. But think of what you're selling. You don't have to go out and build a Chick-fil-A. You don't have to do any of that. This is automated on your website. Whatever your company is, ABC Home Cleaning, /Orlando, /Denver, /New York, /Oakland, /San Francisco, /LA, /Phoenix. These are, every time you do a slash, there's another $5,000 per month coming to you. So I didn't mean to teach all of this, but I get excited about it because I just love this. But one thing I love about this, and that's not it. There's another way that you can make money, but I'm not going to get into it. You can do advertisements on the site. You can make money. You can do affiliate setups where you partner with people in the cities to bring referrals. That's another way to make money. You can have a class for all your ISPs. Teach them great customer service. That's money. You can have it. Like for me, Book and Move, I can have Book and Move University, where all the movers from all the states, they can click and learn things. Hey, how to be better in customer service. You know, how to get better reviews. And it helps me and it helps them. Right? So licensing fee, monthly, the annual fee. I didn't even put that. You can do an annual, whatever the buy-in is, you can come back and do an annual. Hey, every year at this time, you owe me $5,000. And that's just one company. So imagine if things keep coming in. So by the way, I have multiple middleman businesses. Now, if you want to understand kind of how this looks and you're like, I kind of understand, I just need to kind of see it. You're somebody who learns by seeing like I do. Just go to bookandmove.com, bookandmove.com. And you'll see how easy the process. You'll also see I don't have any phone numbers on the website because I don't want to talk to anybody. It's a simple process. Go book your job, pay me. The ISP is going to get the work and come and do it. What do we need to talk about? The price is on the screen. So, all right, let me know in the comments if this helped you guys. I hope that it does. I hope that it blesses you in some kind of way, or at least starts opening your mind or intrigues you a little to say, I'd like to know more about that. And so if that's you and you're saying yes to an opportunity like this, you can work with me. All you have to do is put the word middleman in the comments below to get the link to get into the masterclass so you can start on the online study part and then start working with me to build this business. And if you're sitting there going, I don't know how to, do this or put this together. Don't worry about that. You can walk through this stuff step by step. It's super easy, right? It's not hard. If it was hard, I wouldn't do it. Super easy, setting up the website, getting all that stuff in place. It's not going to be hard. Super easy. I've done it multiple times. But just imagine what your life could look like if you just made half of this without having to leave your house, without having to cancel vacation, without having to go to your boss and say, hey, can I take the weekend off? You don't have all that. What do you want to do? Go do it. But I need to make money. Is your website still running? What's the problem? Go make money then. So super easy. If you want a life of freedom, like I do, I love freedom, but I love to make money while I'm free, because nothing's more important to me than spending time with my family right now and making money while I do it. So if I can spend time with my family and friends, do the things I enjoy doing, and make money while doing it, I never want to have one of these again. I never want to go back to work because it's going to steal my time. I don't want to sell my time. I want to enjoy my life. All right. I'll let you guys screenshot that. If you have any questions or comments, you're welcome to drop it. If you guys are ready to get into the masterclass and work with me, just put the word middleman down below. I'll send you the link to the masterclass before the spots fill up and the price goes up. Please don't wait. You're going to be paying a lot more very soon, because this thing's going to be making people a lot of money, including myself, and it's going to cost you more. My advice, don't wait. Move quickly. All right. See you guys on the next video. Have a blessed day. Peace.